Good morning, or good afternoon for some of you guys. So we're so excited you guys have joined us today. This is Deep Target's Customer Success Webinar for July 2022, and I'm David Kingsbury. I head up many of our customer success programs, and I get to talk to a lot of you guys fairly frequently. And I'm really excited to be a part of this today. And I have with me Helen Triplett. Helen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Glad you
So as
joined us.
you That's right. As you know, Helen runs our implementation support team, and you guys get to talk to her quite a bit. And I want to apologize up front if my squirrel alarm, which is my dog, barks in the midst of this. I apologize. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about optimizing campaigns across channels. We're going to share several things about why this is important, what the industry says, and how you can do more of this within Deep Target. And we're going to talk a little bit about our new capabilities coming as well. So all will be good here. Okay, so we're going to get started in looking at where do your existing users actually spend time with you, engaging with you. There's two large segments of that: the digital channels and the non-digital channels. And so if we take a peek inside of those, the ones that we're going to talk about mainly are our digital channels, but we know there's a broad mix of what you guys do every day. And so let's take a peek at the digital. So in our digital channels, you know, we have mobile, we have online banking, we have the website, and we have email, SMS. And there may be a few other channels as well that you can provide access to, and we support more. But these are the main ones where your users are going to engage with you, and you're going to see this frequency of use. So just as a reminder, many of you already know this, that in the mobile space, users are engaging with you 2 to 3 times a day. In the online space, 2 to 3 times a week, plus or minus. The website 2 to 3 times a week, and that dovetails because online usually starts with the website visit, and email 2 to 3 times a week. So these gives you some range of numbers of frequency. And the last one I'll just throw in on the non-digital side, certainly branch visits, events, and so forth, really are occurring about only 2 to 3 times a month. But I know, and of course Helen and our team understands, that digital has gone through the roof with the advent of COVID. And even though we've opened up a lot, the digital channel usage is still extremely high. So these are all things that these channels are important for you to consider when you're doing your digital marketing. So now let's look at where the impressions and clicks are occurring highest as well. And there's a couple of nuances related to the actual channels. So if you have noticed, you're going to get your most usage in the mobile. 2 to 3 times a day is going to translate into the highest number of impressions from your digital ads displayed in mobile. But you're also, as many of you guys already know, email certainly is the second highest, and there's a couple of reasons for that. And we do put SMS in here because you can be SMS capable today, but that is a something else that has to be considered, certainly, if you're engaging directly in SMS digital marketing. The third highest is online, and then finally the website is generally the lowest. And we're talking about current users, current customers, or members of your organization. And so that's what is reflected here. So I don't think there's any argument about this generalization of these numbers. The one thing I did want to point out is mobile and online, and website to a degree, but certainly mobile and online is I'll say momentary. So the user is in the mobile app or in the online banking app for a short period of time and then exiting. So you only have a window of opportunity for them to display the ads. Websites, sometimes a little longer because users may be doing research. But in email, certainly, also in SMS, your campaign actually is persistent. So it can sit inside of that email for some time, and therefore the user has a little more time to follow up and take a peek at what offers were provided to them. Okay, So some things to consider there, okay? So what is the usual flow of engagement? And we want to interrupt this flow and show you some capabilities that DeepTarget has, okay? So in the website environment, you're certainly going to build web content and you're going to place it on the website. It's going to drive traffic to perhaps a different website page or an application page, and then hopefully a new account is opened. In the digital space here, for online and mobile banking, you're going to build that campaign, deploy it in 2 different channels, same result here. And then you also build your email campaigns and deploy those inside of email, and that drives them to the website and so forth. I know all of you guys are experiencing some level of use of these, but what if when someone clicks in the mobile space, what if you could actually send an email, automated email, directly to that digital user? So that capability actually exists inside DeepTarget. It's called Click to Email. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it and how many are actually using it, but we do have an automated email that will immediately go out to that user, or a timed capability directly to them. And so I'm going to bring Helen into the conversation now, so you can send this email. First of all, Helen, describe what we're showing here, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, there are a couple ways. First off, you have to find if you're sending email in your extracts. You might not know that because if your IT department is the one responsible for sending your data to us, you may not know it. One way you can go check is if you go into any of the reports and you click the little gear icon over there on the right, and you may have some of those fields exposed to you. And email on this particular example is showing there. But if you have not asked us to show those fields on reports, you may not see it there. So what you need to do is when you go into DeepTarget and you go to that click to email, so that's on when you go to the campaign flyout, you're going to see email settings. And David, you want to? I think you're going to go to the next slide there. And that you would go to email settings, and you have this option for notification email or click to email. And click to email is the one that's the follow up to that account holder after they have clicked on an ad, and you can set up the time frame that you want that. You can send it immediately, which is probably not recommended, but you can send it that night or the next day or whatever as a follow-up. You can compose your email that you want with that. We've got a little email composition program in there in the background. You can send that out to them for follow-up. So that's always a great thing to use.
So historically, and what we have it as a part of this system is we suggest if they perhaps click on a campaign on day 1, we'll say you wait till the next morning, maybe at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. This has been our normal suggestion. And you can time that email to go out the next morning. And as Helen said, it can appear to come from someone in your organization. So it can be very friendly, if you will, not so personalized. But in today's world, actually, sending an email right after the click can be very powerful. So we've heard many numbers say that you need, if somebody shows interest, you have about 90 seconds to, while they're still thinking about it, to touch them again with that automated email. So you could do that. So anyway, make sure you're familiar with this. If you'd like Helen's team to walk you through the capability, let us know. Shoot an email to support@deeptarget.com, and we can help you set that up. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at what the industry says as well when we're discussing campaigns across channels. It says splash screens, which really are digital ads, should be unified across all channels, from banner ads to in-app messages, creating a consistent journey for consumers. So I'll stop here on this. We're going to come back to this in just a second. So sharing across channels is something else that we can do as a reminder to everybody. So when you build your campaign inside of DeepTarget, you can now export that audience directly and then load into your email system. and it can go directly to a new microsite if you'd like, using our new product that we'll talk about in just a second, which is a greater experience we've found for many users prior to being sent to the website or application page directly. So there's a series of steps that occur, correct, that we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to make it a more personal and relevant and sometimes exciting journey for the customer. So that's what we're doing here. As a reminder, if you use any of the targeted methods to create a campaign, you then get an export audience capability, which will then, well, Helen, I'll let you explain. How does the export audience work at this point?
Sure, you select the export audience. It'll create a CSV file with a list of all your account holder numbers, and then you can import that into your email campaign that you have and send that out as a follow-up. That's an alternative follow-up. We have that click to email we could do, but you can do that externally through using this export audience. And we've had several customers use this, and they are getting really good results from their follow-up campaigns.
Absolutely. And so going back to that then, so not only is that campaign being deployed in these two channels, then the audience therefore then gets the email as well. So it's so to be clear about this, so let Deep Target create that list for you, if you will, that audience for you based on a rule or our predictive model, which is pretty phenomenal. And here's the real catcher that we didn't mention. When you export audience, if you remember, when we ingest your data, it's for all users who may not be mobile or online banking users. So if you have some indirect customers that only have perhaps an auto loan with you and maybe therefore a checking account, they might not have mobile or online. This audience is all of your customers or members, and therefore it extends the campaign to all users, which is, well, I'll just throw out, so Michael Hostetler at Crane said it's had a dramatic impact for them, and they go after those audiences for secondary products, right? Awesome. And so ultimately, the product that we have now called 3D Story on the Go allows you to use your email system to create that offer, and we give you a URL that will launch you into your own customized microsite. And then here comes your 3D Storyteller campaigns that go into a nice digital display environment, which is really cool. So let me, I'm going to show you, I was intending to show you one real quick, and I've lost it. So my apologies. We have I'm going to turn my screen off for just a second and locate that. We have a mocked up environment for you that I'm hoping I haven't turned off. There it is. Good. So this is an example of a screen that we're using for demos. So you can have a microsite built here. You can have a video running with your offers and 3D Storyteller on the side, which makes a really nice impact. And of course, using your personalized data and the whole flip through environment as well. So we're really excited about that. Okay. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us and we'll tell you more about that. Okay. And then let's go into using the same content in messaging. So this is really important. So according to trend reports, between 65 and 85% of people describe themselves as visual learners. Helena, I think you and I've discussed this. You're a visual learner as well, aren't you?
Yep, very much so.
Yeah, so I started obviously my career in technology back when we would write flowcharts of all of our applications. Remember that, Helen?
Yep, I did the same thing.
And it was very visual at the time. And now we've got all sorts of tools to help you visualize applications. And this is still true in all of advertising. So PR News, they talk about online content with good images, get 94% more views than those without. So we have seen a trend towards not showing images actually out in the industry. We still think it's very valuable. And so we're going to take a peek at what that might look like and why that's important. So if you think about when you watch a TV show or a movie, you actually are being told a story, right? Everyone has sort of story related to it, and we all, as individuals, and the psychology behind it is we connect with one of the characters, and that's why we particularly like one movie or show above another, because we connect. So the first thing that happens when we see an image is it's the beginning of a small micro story, if you will, and we will connect subconsciously with that first picture. So why is that important? So let me give you a rendition here. So let's say that on your website you're advertising home loans and you show this image, and one of your customers or members sees that image, and let's say, I'll use me as an example, Helen, you can play along. You can connect with, in my case, I'll connect with the dad in the image. Some of you guys may connect with the dog. Helen may connect with the mom or daughter, whatnot. And then when you go, you see that same home loans advertised, if you see a different image, there's a slight disconnect because it's a different image. So I'm no longer connected with this dad, I'm now connected with this dad. And then if I see it again and that family's not even in it, there's still a slight disconnect. And then finally we get to that last page, there's another family. So we like to think that the little things matter, and therefore a better flow would actually be from one of our great customers, United One, who shows this image on the website, and I connect with that dad. He might be a little better looking than I am, but I still connect with him. And I have two daughters. And then again, I see it occur. This is in online banking. I see the same dad. I'm still familiar. Then I might look a little bit past that image. I see that same image in the mobile banking. And then when I land at the website, I see the same one. That connectivity across all channels makes a difference. Familiarity is very important. Helen?
Yeah, and that's, another thing is that it's kind of reinforcing that image in your brain too. So that's, you're not just connect with that, you connect with the message. So that's important. But,
Right.
as you're thinking about graphics and things, I think it's important to look at things that elicit a feeling for you. What's going to capture your attention. Maybe it's your color, maybe it's the forever family, maybe it's the dog or whatever. But find something that elicits a feeling. I know that in the last few years, we've got a lot of people interested in like superhero movies and things like that. So you might not have an image, but you might have like pop culture kind of graphic or something like that. So
Right.
there are certain images or kind of not specific of people, but just might be some graphic that really catches somebody's eye. So I think that, as you have that across your website and online mobile, that's going to be really important.
Exactly. And notice how the same use of not only image, by the way, the image is what we look at first. Studies all show that we're drawn to the image first. We're drawn to the few words second. And the more precise we are, the better. And it's no doubt the team at United One used the same exact messaging all the way through, which is perfect. And then finally, the colors. So the colors are all the same and all very warm and engaging. So our hats off to the United One team for that work. Okay, so let's look at another example. So this one has excited me because Helen and I have been talking with you guys now for some time. The number is, as all of you guys know, the #1 new visual is actually video. And more people will watch a few second video, will turn on that video for engagement, certainly. Well, here we are, Cascade Community, who always have some amazing ads. And I think Shelby may be in the audience out here today. We're using her example from her team, which is awesome. Yeah, I saw your hand go up. Great, Shelby. They have a video of this awesome dad who bought a truck, and it's just a 30-second video, but I had to watch the whole thing. It was so enticing. And look what they do. They use the exact same images of the dad, and you can recognize him immediately with certainly his the coat he has on. Anyway, I identify with him immediately, and so all the way through the whole process, and I'm excited to see the results of that. Maybe we'll share that next time. But that's a perfect use of engaging with the same look and feel across the whole application. Helen, you like that? Helen, you like that as well?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so great work. All right, so I want to remind you of why all this is important. Visibility is 90% of everything. If you think about that, if you are not seen, you're not heard. And if you only promote offers in one channel, you may not be heard enough. We all know that there's quite a bit of noise out in the digital world from what other apps we're in, perhaps. And we have to maximize that if we're really going to service our customers and our members. And so if you can engage across 3 or 4 or 5 channels, that multiplying effect will ensure your visibility and therefore get your engagement done. Okay, so summary. Engaging across all your channels is really important. Mobile's number 1, actually email's number 2, and online banking is 3. Just in case anybody wasn't really aware of that. DeepTarget has multiple ways to help you do this with that. Immediate versus timed automated emails, which is really cool. We'd love to tell you, make sure you utilize that. That campaign audience export capability in our new product, which will help you get into the email space with a really cool display technology, our 3D story capabilities. And using similar images and messaging matters, very much so. Ellen, do you have anything to add to our summaries here?
No, I think that's good.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I want to remind you guys as well that we can help you fly your plane. Sometimes you guys are overwhelmed. You've got a lot of work to do. Try to help you with our customer success webinars, but we also provide services, just as a reminder, that we could do a little bit of the work for you and bring our expertise to bear with you if you'd like. So don't forget about that, which is a very powerful way to go. And now we're on to our Java Joy winners. So Helen, who do you think our Java Joy winners today are?
I think that we ought to celebrate the folks that did a great job on their cross channel campaigns.
That's right. So Cascade Community and United One. So we're so excited. Shelby, I think, is on the call still. So Shelby, we're going to send a free coffee off to you and our team at United One, allowing us to share the results of, or at least what they're doing. So that's really phenomenal. So I really appreciate that. We have a couple more announcements that we're really excited to share this morning. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Finopotamus, the FinTech news for hungry CUs. They initiated a Tech Awards earlier this year, and look at some winners here. So big winner out to Lebanon with Elena Smith and her team there for the use of AI and machine learning within DeepTarget. And then Kim Kingery at American CU, honorable mention in what they have been doing in the marketing and member communication. And then there's our Michael Hostetler, Technologist of the Year honorable mention. As we all know, Michael's, everybody's been doing a bunch of innovative stuff, but Michael's really pushing the envelope there at Crane CU, and we really appreciate that. So congratulations to everybody. The announcement is today. So if you go to Finopotamus Techie Awards, you'll see and hear more about that and what they did. But I can't say enough about what Elena and her team has done at Lebanon. Phenomenal results, phenomenal work. So big round of applause for them.
That's right. And, one thing I want to mention about Elena is that run a lot of campaigns, they use predictive model campaigns, targeted by rule campaigns, looking at generational type of campaigns, just a very active user of Deep Target and has really gotten good results.
That's awesome. Great. All right, a couple more real quick announcements. Deep Target participates with a lot of our platform partners in their conferences, and we're pointing at this one with Access Softtech. So in October this year, towards the end of October is their conference. We actually run a Digital Impact Award with them, and this is actually Bethany at Jolt winning the award last year, but we had 7 contestants last year in it. That was awesome. There's Jill, our president, as well as this is Carla from, no, it's not, it's Amy, sorry, it's Amy from Jolt as well. So, be thinking about this if you're an Access Softtech customer. We'll be reaching out to you as well very shortly. Okay, and then finally, our webinar next month is going to be all about AI and machine learning. So we're real excited. We're going to take a really deep dive into machine learning models because we are going to be releasing a new suite of capabilities inside of Deep Target to help you predict the best campaigns to deploy each month. So be prepared for that. We're super excited about it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to help you guys find the most urgent customers and members looking for products each month. And so we're real excited about sharing that with you. So Helen, thank you for being here today.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad everybody joined.
That's right. Thank you guys for your time. Right at the bottom of the hour, so perfect timing. You guys have a great day, great week. Reach out to if there's anything we can do to help you at any time. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.